This whole thing about Jackson State University paying a player $1 million to become a part of their football program has me baffled. Because I'm trying to figure out where in the world is this $1 million coming from? I mean, are there boosters out there that's dropping that type of money on the table for Jackson State to offer players like that? But I did see one tweet that touched down that made me wonder, what are we trying to set up here? We're going to talk about it right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in the free to tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And also, don't forget, you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to head tap on in this thing because these folks have lost their bloody flipping mind with this. Jackson State has paid a player $1 million to come be a part of the Jackson State University Tigers football team. And when I saw this tweet really bothered me here. And this is from Mr. Rodek, who stated that more from Nick Saban tonight. Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper. They bragged about it. Nobody did anything. That was quote unquote from what Nick Saban stated in the video. I'm going to try and play the clip for you probably later on down the line in the video so that you can hear it directly from Coach Saban. And I'm just trying to understand, like, Coach Saban, why are we so engulfed in throwing this young man under the bus to say he, something happened that really didn't? But Coach Saban, I understand because this sadly just proves a point to me that I've wondered for some time now. What would happen if you began to lose, kind of like what happened when you was at Michigan State? You got your feet up underneath you when you got to LSU, you won your championship, and then things kind of similar, kind of tailed off a little bit. Then you went to Miami to go coach, and then all of a sudden you came on back to the NCAA to coach football again. You were over there at Alabama. Over there at the University of Alabama, you kicking tail, taking names, and you just doing what you want to do. And guess what? The whole world was just revolving around Coach Saban. You got folks standing over you like, guess what? We got your number. Not only do you have Jimbo Fisher, you got Lane Kiffin, who's on the uptick. Yeah, he put the team over there together at Ole Miss, looking to come punch you in the mouth and let you know, hey, listen, Nick Saban, all that you've been doing over there at the University of Alabama, it's about to slow down. All that roll tide everybody love to say all the time, in them games, pissing people off. Guess what? It ain't going to be too much roll tide because if you ain't got the players over there to coach, what you gonna do? I mean, come on, man. I mean, let's be real here with some of this. I mean, you got Coach Prime who, Coach Prime look up to you as a pretty good person, and you throw Coach Prime under the bus. What y'all gonna do about them Aflac commercials, bro? I guess them Aflac commercials gonna be out the window. Y'all go ahead, kick the duck in the behind, tell him to get the heck on because, hey, the duck gonna have to go in retirement using 401k because ain't no more Aflac commercials gonna be going on between the two of y'all. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a little short with some things, huh? But I would say this. The sad display that you're showing here, behind the fact that you lost to Kirby Smart in the national championship game. Yeah, I know that loss is really irritating you a little bit. And I'm trying to piece together exactly the people, the form that you were in when you had the conversation, when you wanted to talk about an 18-year-old being paid $1 million to go to an HBCU. What's so ironic about all of that is the fact that that is the biggest scare tactic that I've ever seen somebody try to use to prevent players, 4 or 5-star recruits, from wanting to go to HBCU. See, the shot that was thrown at Jackson State doesn't just affect Jackson State. It affects all HBCUs if you really look at it. Stare right at the picture that you try to portray for the world to see. Understanding this, none of the assistant coaches that have ever coached under you have beaten you, but you lost to 2 in 1 year. Are you having a little slippage over there? I mean, is it that the players ain't coming into the program like they used to? I mean, I see you was upset with Jimbo Fisher. You accused him of paying these players off because they had the #1 recruiting class in the country. as far as NCAA football. I mean, yeah, it was some rumblings out there about the payments of the linemen coming to the university to become a part of the program. I think it was like some $50,000 or something or another that they had put up, for just that. And I respect all of that. But again, what are we talking about here? You haven't said much about Kirby Smart, because I think a lot of folks be looking at you like you kind of being a hater if you said something about Kirby Smart in Georgia, because they just whooped your tail in the national championship game. Yeah, I know there was some injuries. I know some of you Alabama fans out there going to be a little pissed off. So hold on, Coach, wait a minute. Yeah, I got it. It was some injuries in the game. Trust and believe, I do watch Alabama play football. I watch you guys religiously. And I ain't going to lie to you. I sit back and holler Roll Tide to and piss my kids off because they sit there and say, that's not even your team. But you know what? I just do it for the hell of it sometimes because I just want to have a good time doing it. With all of the complaints that you made about Jimbo Fisher, and Coach Deion Sanders over at Jackson State, can we talk about the stipends that has been given out to the universities since the beginning of the time? Let's look at them. Let's look at these numbers here. How the players are getting scholarships, but they're getting stipends as well. These stipends are called full cost of attendance, in which these are for the players to go, for them to go to class. So you're paying them to go to class along with paying their tuition. But wait, it doesn't stop just there. What about the APR as far as with the coaches getting bonuses based off of the players' GPAs? I mean, what we talking about here? See, one thing for certain is this. When you go to HBCU and you play HBCU sports, you tend to want to sit back and start looking at a lot of different things that were going on that people never paid much attention to because it was never put out there to the masses. But now that things are starting to, I ain't going to say even out because the playing field ain't even. It still ain't even. Because Power 5s and PWI schools have been getting over for a very long time. And a lot of people don't talk about these things because of the simple fact that they want to ruffle no feathers. Stay in frustration, bar none. Because there's a lot of folks out there with these NIL deals, like the young man, the running back over at the University of Texas. He got a deal with Lamborghini. Great deal. I ain't mad at him for that. The young man go out there on the field, produce. But remember one thing also, he's also great in the classroom. This young man gets his work done in the classroom as well. What about the young man over at the University of Kentucky, the basketball player? He got a deal with Porsche. He take care of his business as well. But you don't want to speak about the young man that went to the University of Ohio State that got that big NIL deal, who never played a down for Ohio State, left and came back to Texas. We ain't complaining about that. But you want to talk about an 18-year-old young man that decided to go to an HBCU, Power 5. He was ranked 5-star. He could go to any Power 5 school and produce. He decided he wanted to go to HBCU. He wanted to learn his own story. He wanted to figure out things on his own. And because he made that decision, you're upset. It's time y'all got to understand one thing. We don't have to sit back and accept a glass of water from you saying that this glass of water is cool. It's much colder than this one. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen anymore because these young men are finally seeing for themselves what it is that they want to do and what they want to accomplish and where they want to do and accomplish those things. So you have to give them that respect. But I tell you this, the collective that you spoke about as far as with the players on the team that's going to make, that's going to be compensated accordingly for their name, image, and likeness, you know what? The NCAA is going to be looking into those collectives because they're trying to keep the boosters from getting in there with those collectives, making sure that they put the necessary money in place to get players to come into the program that could have went somewhere else and played, but because you offered them a lump sum of money to come into your system, come into your program, they decide to go there instead. So understand one thing. I'm sure you are aware of that, and we'll make sure that you have all your I's dotted and crossed, your I's dotted, your T's crossed, making sure that everything goes according to where it's supposed to. Because, hey, like you just said,
I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it.
Travis Hunter, I'm just going to say the young man's name. You said Travis Hunter got paid $1 million to come to Jackson State. Well, if I'm not mistaken, years back, it was stated that the University of Alabama was known as Suburban U. Help me understand. See, you got to remember one thing. When you throw them darts out there at people like that, there's others on the outside that have heard stories as well, and they'll start throwing them back at you. Regardless of the fact if they're right, wrong, or indifferent, it's just a matter of fact. So why can't we just understand this young man made a decision and this is what he wanted to do. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna move away from that because, like I said, I'm in the space right now that you want to dig in on an 18-year-old instead of letting this 18-year-old make a decision that's best for him. It's not about you. It's not about the other. It's not about you or those other Power 5 or PWI schools that's out there that wanted him to become a part of the program. It's about him making a decision for himself that was best for him. He decided, I want to go to HBCU. I want to learn more about my culture. Respect that. That's all everybody's trying to say. We got to learn how to respect that. So again, I understand your frustration. Texas A&M, they got the #1 recruiting class. The recruits didn't come in the way that you expect them to come in for Alabama. University of Georgia, they had 20 athletes from their team get drafted. Unbeknownst to, that's normally your number of players that's going into the NFL to play football on the next level, and it didn't happen that way. Okay, guess what? You had to be second, third fiddle. But for you to say this, come on, Coach Saban, I expect more out of you than that. Hey, I know the day gonna be rough for you, and I'm sure you're gonna get past. You're gonna put the cotton balls in your ear, and you're gonna mute everything out because you ain't trying to hear it. But understand one thing: I know you probably was trying to prove a point to the people that you're talking to, but the only person that you need to prove a point to is yourself. But until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. And remember, be the one and lead.